All right, Keaton, let's talk about your high school career first. Mr. Basketball, state title. What's one of your greatest memories from high school? Like, could be basketball, could not be basketball.
My memories are always like about my teammates. I think we were pretty lucky here to always have like awesome guys coming through. When I got to play with a huge range of people, like when I was a freshman, I got to play with people who I really looked up to and were significantly way better than me, and it was like an eye-opening thing. And then, you know, by the time my class was coming through the varsity level, I'm playing with friends and good friends, and like the friends that if I see today, it's still same conversations we had 10 years ago, whatever, that kind of stuff. So you know, that's always the number one memory for me.
And you graduated what year? You graduated in 08?
07.
07. So you were on what I would probably call, your freshman year was Michael Nelson and Wesley?
Yeah.
Probably the best team ever to walk through these hallways. Could be arguable.
Yeah,
but
I would agree. I think, I mean, just in terms of top to bottom, we had everything. We had size, we had skill, we had toughness, we had each position filled. I mean, we were just, that was a good team, and I was happy to be a part of it. I remember you gave me the option to play JV or varsity, and I thought just to practice with the varsity would have been enough of a season for me, so I was pretty happy to be part of that team.
yeah, you know, I always tell people I think that season probably was a little bit more me than you guys, because it was my first rodeo. You know, if I took that team now, I think it would be different than if that was the first time we kind of made a run and we're, you know.
It was a crazy year, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, people in the school can't really understand the dynamics that happened in that season. It was an interesting season.
And for me too, that being like my first real year of competitive basketball, when you start out with that kind of success, you expect that kind of success. And it's like, for me, I've been lucky to always be on good teams, but I also have grown to kind of expect that. So starting with my freshman year in high school, you go to the state championship, you win almost every game, you get used to it. You know, it becomes part of the culture, and I think it's become the culture here. Is you win, that's just what we do. So.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, next one. Let's talk about your college career. You know, any memories from playing at Wisconsin and being a Badger? And
it's the same thing. The culture here is so amazing. Wisconsin is, you know, obviously it's the only place I played, but it has to be one of the most fun places to play. You know, I know a lot of people who've played elsewhere, and they're equally as proud, but just the city of Madison and the university and the people and everything, it was so much fun, and teammates were awesome. Learned a ton, won a ton. It was a great experience. No complaints.
And I think that's something Coach Ryan has done too. You know, they win, and they're expected to win, and they will do what it takes to win. And
yes, and he doesn't care what anybody says about how they win. He has a system that he's been working on for 40 years, and it works. And there's just no doubt about it. When you're in it and you play like that, you appreciate why it works, how it works, and just the fact that you always get results. It's a different brand of basketball, but it works, man.
It works.
There's no other way to say it.
Winning takes care of a lot of problems.
It sure does.
It does. Okay, having played high school basketball, college basketball, professional basketball, what do you think is the most important skill for a younger player to develop? So you're talking to a 12-year-old right now. What would you tell them to do as far as becoming a better basketball player?
I think the things that have always worked best for me, and this is something that goes back to, like you said, my freshman, sophomore years, you need to learn to work hard. You know, everybody's game's a little different. Every team needs something different, but if you're constantly working hard, it's gonna work out. You're gonna improve your game. You're gonna, you know, make yourself better. You're gonna make your teammates better, and it's a skill. It's something that not everybody can do or will do. Working hard is a real skill. It's the same as a jump shot. It's the same as dribbling, and you have to have the skill to work hard.
And my theory with that is, in order to even have, I tell Drew this, my son, in order to have even a chance, you got to work hard. Just because you work hard doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Sure.
But you don't have a chance if you don't work hard.
And every level, the margins become slimmer and slimmer. But to be a good high school player, you have to work hard and have a certain body type, a certain skill set. To be a college player, it becomes even more narrow. And the hard work is really the only consistent thing. Nobody can control their body type. Nobody can control strength. I mean, you can work at it always, but you can always control how hard you work. There's a lot of players who are not as skilled, and they just work their butts off, and they're good players.
I would say, you know, I don't know how many NBA teams are there, like 30 maybe. So there's maybe 400 or 500 NBA players. I'm guessing there's 3,000 or 4,000 other players that could just as easily be in the league.
For sure.
But there's variables.
For sure.
There's work, there's the agent, there's all sorts of things that are working for them or against them.
Sure.
And it works the same from high school to college.
Yep.
You know,
always get slimmer, and you just have to take care of yourself. You see a lot of very talented players that hurt their careers by not thinking they need to work hard.
Yeah, you know, yes, I would 100% agree. Next one. What? Next question is what do you do in the off season? So you finished playing in Germany. You have, I don't know, 2 or 3 months off. What do you do in the off season to kind of keep your game where it needs to be?
Well, first I try and get my body back. It's such a long season, so I try and take a week, maybe 2 off of the court, but also stay in shape, because there's nothing worse than trying to get back into shape after you get out of shape. Mostly though, we just come in here, try and get a lot of shots up, some individual stuff, because during the season it's a lot more team practice, so more reps in here in the summer. Toward the end of the summer, play a little more 5-on-5 and try and get some weight back, some strength and all that kind of stuff back. It's just daily, keep working on your body somehow.
It's like teaching a little bit. You gotta recharge your battery a little bit in the off season.
Yeah, I mean it's such a long season, and no matter how much you love basketball, you need a couple days off the court.
Right, and I've talked to Wesley about it. People forget that it's a job too. Yeah. It's no different than, you know, going working at the bank or coming and teaching math. You're getting paid to do a job, just like everybody else, and you know, some jobs get paid more. You know, if you're a surgeon, you get paid more, but it's still a job. You got to show up and do your job.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the hard part about playing professionally is you're always on somebody else's schedule. And in the summer, you get to be on your own schedule, and that's the best thing about summer.
Yeah, it's very similar to teaching. All right, so explain your career, kind of how you ended up in Germany, how you left from Wisconsin, graduated from Wisconsin. You know, just a little background on that for people that don't know it.
Basically, I played 3 3/4 years at Wisconsin without ever thinking about a professional career. And toward the end of my senior year, I thought, you know, maybe it would be an option for me to try and play somewhere. So kind of when the season ended, I didn't know what to do, and I scrambled to find an agent to help me out.
And you found a good one.
Decent one, yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, you know, trusted my agent to help me find a job. He found me a job with an up-and-coming team in Germany, and I played with them for 3 years, and we actually we accomplished a lot for a team that hadn't done so much in the past. We, you know, made the German championships, the championship in the League Cup. We played international, and that's basically it. I mean, my career was keep playing as long as you can, and that's still kind of what I'm doing. You know, as long as my body holds up and opportunities keep coming, I want to do it. But
what was your major at the UW?
Kinesiology, teaching.
Teaching.
Yeah.
So you're going to be a teacher. Maybe. All right. Have you done your student teaching yet?
I have not.
You have not done your student teaching yet. All right. Well, we can wait and do that in 10, 15 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is. Explain to me how you started playing basketball, why, you know, the little history and how you picked up this game, rather than football or lacrosse or rugby or something. How did basketball come about?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think both my mom and dad love basketball. I think my mom has kind of grown to love it more as the years have gone on. But I think she liked it. My dad is a basketball guy, always has been. Kind of had me dribbling around when I was a kid, and then sometimes when you're abnormally large, it just kind of, people keep putting a basketball in your hands. And I was a tall, awkward kid and just kept playing basketball. But I love it. I loved when I was a kid and somebody would say, yeah, go up to the park and shoot. And I would think, that's cool if I'm the kid at the park. So I would take my mom's Walkman and go up there and shoot around. And it was never anything useful, but at least I was up there, and I loved spending time doing it. And basically, since I was in 4th grade, that's been my biggest hobby. I still consider it a hobby. It's basically my #1 passion is basketball. It's what I love to do. So
it's his 30th anniversary of the Walkman today, actually. So there you go. It is.
Interesting.
A lot of people don't know that. That's what I consider. For coaching, it's a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, I get paid to teach mathematics, but it's a hobby. It's a fun hobby. I spend a lot of time on it.
It's got to be a hobby. You gotta love it. You can't. It's hard to put this much effort into something and hate it.
Right.
And just say, okay, I'm going to do it, hopefully to make a career or something like that. It's a hobby. That's what it is.
My brother told me something recently that when I was out for his daughter's graduation, he says, you got to find a profession that you love and that loves you back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's easy to find something you love, but you got to make sure it loves you back, that you're good at it, or you found something that loves you back. And I think in coaching, I found something that loves me back. So that's the key to life, I think, to make you happy. So.
Yeah.